The brush tool is another type of drawing tool we use in Adobe Illustrator. Just like the pencil tool, it allows you to freehand draw on your document, and it adds all the points necessary to create lines and shapes. But there's one key difference when using the brush tool. So to find the brush tool, it's usually located right next to your pencil tool, and it looks like a paintbrush. Let's make sure that your brush tool is working the same as mine. So we're going to double click on the icon and we'll get the brush tool options. Make sure that your options are the same as mine. So we want to set our tolerance, fidelity to 4, the smoothness to 0, and make sure the options for fill new brush strokes is selected, keep selected is checked off, and check off edit selected paths, and we want to keep that within 7 pixels. As soon as your options look just like mine, you can hit OK, and let's begin. Just like I said, with the brush tool acts much like the pencil tool in that when you draw, you can quickly make lines freehand on your document. But there's one key difference. The brush tool can mimic other types of media. Rather than having a nice crisp smooth line, I can change this line to look like a paintbrush stroke, a charcoal stroke, or a pen and ink type stroke. Really many different things you can do with it. To access some of these things, we're going to have to open up our brushes menu palette. So to open up this palette, let's go to Window and go down and select Brushes. As soon as I do, it'll pop open here. Yours may be in the pop-out collected menus on the right-hand side. If it's not, it's okay. You can open it up and drag it out. These are all different types of brushes you can select to use. Again, first thing, let's select a color that we want. This time, let's make it blue. And I'm going to click on one of these other type of brushes. This one will make it look like a rough kind of brush texture. So now when I choose my brush tool and click and start to drag, look at this line. It mimics the way a rough brush would look. So as I start to paint, I can very quickly create brush type effects using the brush tool that I have selected. If I wanted to change up a different type of brush, it's simply a matter of choosing a different type of brush. Let's say this one, which looks more like a pen and ink. I choose my brush tool again, and I continue painting. And you can see now it creates a different type of effect. If I select the lines that I have created, let's say I've got my black select arrow tool, and I've clicked and dragged over these lines, I can also click on a brush and it will change the style of brush that I have created. As you see, I'm clicking and it changes to a different type of style. Now when you open up your brushes palette, there may not be as many brushes in your selection as mine. In order to get more brushes, turn your attention to the very bottom left-hand corner of your brushes palette window. It'll say Brushes Library Menus, so when I click on it, it'll give me a drop-down menu, and these are some fun and cool different types of brushes we can load up. So let's choose the Artistic, and I like working in the artistic ink styles. When I click on it, it'll give me another pop-out palette window. I can move it around so I can see everything. And this has a lot more styles to choose from. So if I was to choose my brush, let's choose this style and let's give it another color. Hit OK. Make sure that the color you're choosing is your stroke color and not a fill color, so that when you start to paint, very quickly you can add painterly type brush strokes to your document. Also, just like with the pencil tool, if you get too close to one edge and start painting, it'll continue that brush stroke. So remember, if you wanted to create another brush stroke, be sure to move your tool far enough away before creating another brush stroke itself.